Hey, Alice, glad you could join me today. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Danny?
Doing well. So one of the things I want to do today is spotlight you as one of our agents in the Keller Williams Lakeway office and really talk about why you're here at Keller Williams. So tell me a little bit about your history and why you're here and what's going on in your life with real estate.
Well, that's a lot,
Yeah.
but we'll start it with my history. I am a mother. I was a yoga teacher for 20 years. Um, I started real estate though as a real estate investor, buying properties just like a duplex, live in half, rent out the other half. And I got to a point in my life where my kids were getting a little bigger. They were both in school. They didn't need me full time. They just needed me part time.
Right.
And I needed to make more money. And although I love teaching yoga and it was definitely a passion of mine, it was not enough money to support a family off of.
Right. Well,
So I really needed more financial help, right? And my
right.
husband was making good money, but it was stressing him out to be the main breadwinner.
Right. You got that.
So I looked around and I was thinking, like, what can I do? And I loved doing real estate, and I loved it when we were doing real estate transactions for ourselves. And I just wasn't sure if I loved doing it for other people. And when I told my husband that I wanted to get my real estate license, he said, well, about time.
And you've been
Because
doing this for 5 years now, is that right?
this is my fifth year with Keller.
Okay.
So I joined Keller in December. And so I turned over in December. That would have been my anniversary. So I'm into my fifth year.
Good, good. And what happened your very first year here at Keller Williams?
My very first year at Keller Williams, it was like drinking from a fire hose. There was so much to learn. And Keller is really good with classes and trainings and stuff like that, which was very important to me. And then I just followed the systems. I followed what my coaches said. So if they said make phone calls, I made phone calls. They're really big on like reaching out to friends and family members just to let them know, like, hey, I'm now in real estate. And one of the things I really focused on was not having to have it perfect to be in action.
I see that a lot. And, I use this term all the time, stop getting ready to get ready. And
Yeah,
you did just that. You were fire ready aim, I think your first year, right?
yeah, totally. And so, instead of freaking out that my, database wasn't perfect, I just opened my phone and started at A.
Right.
Right, and started calling people I knew and reconnecting with them and sharing with them what I was up to and seeing what they were up to and how could I help them forward what they were doing. And if I could help them, I thought they would help me. And
Yeah,
they did.
yeah, that's great. How many transactions did you do in your first year?
I did 12 transactions.
And what type of gross commission income roughly was that?
I took home about $60,000 to $70,000.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No,
And
that was mind blowing for me. I was like, whoa.
yeah, it usually is for a lot of people. So,
Yeah.
so without any prior experience in real estate, you came in your first year and you took home about 60,000, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Was that in your first 12 months, you were also rookie of the year here at Keller Williams and Lakeway too, right?
Yes, I was rookie of the year and I was still teaching yoga,
Yeah,
so I was doing that. I was still being a mom, I'm still a mom, but
yeah,
yeah, so I was able to do that well. I still kept my other job. I was still working for the yoga center part-time. And I still was able to be rookie of the year for my office. And that was a really big honor. And, I didn't know that I was getting that award when I got it.
yeah. That's usually how we try to do that, to make it a secret, to make it a surprise. So tell me let's jump forward a couple of years and let's talk about what's going on in your real estate career today. What are you on track to do, let's say this year, 2021, during the pandemic?
Well, for 2021, I am actually on track to close $40 million in sales, gross sales. That'll be about 65, 70 transactions.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, that was life-changing.
And just roughly, what kind of gross commission income do you think that would be?
That is $1 million.
Yeah. Guys, I guess
like before I pay my taxes and my helpers and all that.
Gross commission income, right?
Yeah.
So
Gross commission.
What I want people to understand is that you went from 0 to hero in 5 years. And Gary talks about that in the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Give me 5 years and I'll change your life.
Yeah.
Did that work for you?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm following the book as to the best of my ability. Yeah. And I find that I have to reread the book because I'm like, oh, I missed that. Oh, I could do better. You know, or I could,
That book right there, right? The Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
That's the book. And I have a couple copies and I have it on audio as well. Yeah. So I can listen in my car when I want. I'll just tap in, listen a little bit, chapter here or there, just to remind myself what I'm up to. And, you know, my husband actually retired this year.
Isn't that a great feeling? And that's because of how you're doing your business, right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, and because I'm now a real estate agent, I see the deals first. So I continue to invest in real estate and build my empire. And so we were able to, you know, replace his income with passive income from our rental properties.
Let's talk about that for a second. So you're building wealth as a realtor first before you offer that to anybody else, right? If you see a great deal, y'all try to buy that?
Well, it depends. So we can't buy every good deal because the deal of the century comes around about once a week.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we can't buy them all. And I will literally, like, if I find a really good deal that I would buy, a lot of times I'll actually pick up the phone and call my investors first.
Right.
And I give them first shot at it. And I say, look, I will buy this. And then when they say no and I buy it, they're like, oh, you weren't kidding. I'm like, no, I wasn't kidding. But to me, if I make an investor happy, they might do two deals a year. You know, that's worth it to me.
Right.
And I'm not living in scarcity. I know there's another deal around the corner.
Yeah.
So I don't mind passing them on.
Talk to me a minute about your investing portfolio.
Yeah.
You do both commercial and residential. So talk a bit about that.
Yeah. So we flipped our portfolio last year quite a bit.
Right.
Meaning we sold several properties and we bought several new properties. So we have duplexes that we own and rent out long-term. We have vacation rentals that we own and rent out short-term.
Right.
We have a warehouse property that has 12 warehouses that we rent to, it's light industrial, and we rent it to tradespeople like concrete cutters and cabinet makers and mechanics and things like that.
Right. So is it y'all's plan for your husband to fold into your business as well and start helping you?
He gets to decide.
That's right. But I know you and I kind of talked about that, and that's an interesting scenario that, you know, you have enough rental properties where you and I kind of talked about that he's going to try to manage those and be y'all's property manager, if you will, of your own property. So,
well, we don't do that. We changed our idea on that. So we now hire property managers to free him up. And I have floated the idea that he could become the head of our commercial division.
That's a great idea.
If he wants to do that. He's so good with analytics and numbers. And I think he would be stellar.
Yeah. You know, and what I want everybody watching this is to see, this is totally an unscripted deal. Alice and I are just having a conversation about her business. And what I'm trying to show you as a potential person looking to join Keller Williams is that anybody can do this job. Real estate's very simple. It's just hard work, right, Alice?
Yeah. No, it's very simple, and it does take a lot of work and a lot of attention, but it's changed our lives completely, and we are very happy. You know, when I was first in real estate, my daughter wanted to go to summer camp, and it was $4,000, and it just wasn't a conversation we could have.
Right.
Like, we just couldn't have that conversation.
Right.
And after I started doing well my second year, I was like, you want to go to camp?
That's so awesome. You know, so in the middle of a pandemic, 2020 to now, has your real estate marketing plan changed any, or where are you in your marketing strategies where you were a year ago this time? Here we're, you know, in the middle of May right now, and coming into summertime in Lakeway, Texas. And I know you do real estate all over, South Side, North Side, really all over Austin, but what's really changed because of the pandemic for you going into this new market?
Honestly, I've just been busier than ever, and my whole thing is just making sure everyone's okay.
Good.
Right? Do you need anything? And has your life changed? And you know, some people are doing very well and they're buying that new house with the pool, and some people are struggling and they're really needing to get out of their house with equity and move into some downsides into something that will save them money. So I'm just making sure that I am serving everybody where they're at,
right,
and making sure that they are taken care of no matter what is going on in their life.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about that. You know, and if you're taking care of the people that you know, love, and trust, and people that you talk with, the people we call your Mets and you haven't met, you know, if you're making those care calls, you're doing the things you want to do, you're sincere about what you're asking the care questions. How are you doing through this pandemic? What's going on? How did you make it through the freeze? You know, you're truly caring and understanding how this is going. So that you're saying that's a big part of how you're getting most of your business.
Yeah, and the freeze was a good example. So the day before the thaw, because you know I've done a lot of construction, I started calling all of my buddies that are in construction, handymen, plumbers, everyone. I called everyone. What's your schedule like tomorrow? And the day of the thaw, I was just an air traffic controller, and I just was sending plumbers, because as friends called me with broken pipes, I was able to be like, this plumber's available now. This plumber will be available at 2. This plumber will, you know.
Right.
And I must have done like 200 phone calls.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So
I just had my headset on.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Sit there and work from your home office.
Yeah.
And so give me a couple golden nuggets, what you could tell somebody wanting to maybe think about coming to Keller Williams. What would you tell them?
I would tell them that the sky is the limit. There's very few businesses where the sky is the limit.
Right.
And, you know, there's very few businesses where if you work harder, you make more money.
Right.
You usually just make the same amount of money, you put in all the effort, and it's the same. But in this business, if you put the work in and you put the effort in and you put the heart in, it comes back at you and it will change your life. Like, it just changes your life to be able to be financially secure and to be able to have a security for the future as well. Right. And this business gives you that opportunity.
You know, that's so true. And the opportunity is there for anybody that wants it. If you have the right coaching, the right mentoring, the right leadership, the right guidance, you can't do it alone, can you?
No. I mean, but the thing is, that's what I love about Keller, is that I'm not alone. Even though I'm an independent agent, I've never felt alone. Like, I have coaches, I have mentors, I have other agents that'll have my back, you know, if I need help. So I've never felt like, I've always had somebody to call and help me, because I still, even, you know, in my 5th year, have situations come up where I'm like, ooh, I don't know. This property is very unique, or this lending situation is unique. And so having those, you know, amazing agents that are ahead of me to talk to is just valuable to me.
That's true. So before we close, what do you see happening in the Austin market here going forward in the rest of 2021 into 2022? I mean, get your crystal ball out there and let's kind of look at that. And Are you seeing a slowdown in the market? Are you seeing an increase in business? You know, we've had, I won't say we haven't had a shortage of inventory. We've had a absorption problem in Austin because there's real estate out there. This morning, you know, one of the things I do every day is look at the numbers. In Austin, single family residence, there were still over 3,000 listings for sale in single family residence just in Austin today. And, you know, our office, we have 150 listings right now today and 110 that are pending, getting ready to close. So, you know, real estate is happening every day. And it's just a matter of you, the agent, right, being willing to go out there and do your thing that you do every day and just be the realtor and care, love on, and help your clients, your friends, your neighbors, and do the things you have to do, right?
Yeah. And I do, you know, the crystal ball question is always a hard one because none of us have one.
Yeah.
However, you know, I do feel like it will become a little bit more of a balanced market here. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part because I work with both buyers and sellers.
Sure.
But I think a more balanced market is better for everyone.
I do too.
I'm seeing a little bit of softening, a little less competition out there. And I spent today calling all potential buyers and I got 3 of them pre-approved today.
Wow.
Because I'm like, let's do it. I see the inventory. It's there. We can have it.
Yep. That is true.
You know, and as soon as I get off the phone here, I'll be writing up an offer for one of my investors who, you know, we found a property and I think we have a good chance of winning it.
Yeah, well, that's the market is crazy to say the least here in Austin, Texas. But I truly feel if people are willing to work and work with their realtor and their agent, they can find the house of their dreams still today. You know, you laugh about the softening of the market. I had one of our newer agents come in the other day and their house had been on the market for 12 days and they were freaking out. What's wrong with the house? You know, so that nothing's wrong with the house. It's just the market's starting to soften a little bit. You know, when you get away from the core of downtown Austin, you start moving out a little bit towards Spicewood and Dripping Springs, the market is softening out there first, right?
It always softens on the edges first.
Yeah, so that's pretty common. So,
yeah.
Alice, anything you want to say in closing? I appreciate you and really adore how you just tackle this business straight on, and you just kill it. You really do, and I'm very proud to be associated with you.
Yeah, I love what I do, and I truly love people. And you know, I find that's helpful in this business. But it really is just all about, you know, being connected to why you want to do this and what is important to you, and then you know you can achieve that.
Yeah, that's true.
For my family, it's just been a life-changing experience for me to do this.
Well, Alice, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to there and have a little conversation with me about your business, about Keller Williams, and about the Austin, Texas real estate market. Again, Alice, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have an awesome day.
All righty. See you.
All right.
Thank you.